Hi, I'm James Kotecki. You are with me in the C-Space studio here at CES 2020. Here with us, Laurent Ezekiel, Chief Marketing and Growth Officer.
Indeed. Hi, James.
WPP, welcome to the C-Space studio.
Thank you very much for having me, James.
Thanks so much. And yesterday we had your CEO, Mark Reed, but I'm going to put you on the spot and ask him the same question I asked him yesterday.
Okay.
But I'm always curious about how people define their own brands, especially how marketers define their brands. So how do you define the WPP brand and how technology kind of plays into that?
Okay, so WPP launched a new strategy at the end of 2018, and the focus is on being a creative transformation company. So that's very much our focus. Creativity, because we think it's our differentiator and can exponentially drive growth for our clients. Transformation, because all our clients across most industries are going through some level of disruption and transformation, and through technology we can help guide them and work with them on that. And company, because we've moved from group to company, so more collaborative, more open at working together across our agencies for our clients. And then the final thing I'll say is that WPP is very focused on the notion that creativity should be powered and is powered increasingly by technology. So that's how I define WPP, hopefully similar to how Mark did it.
You did that perfectly.
Did I?
You were completely on message, so as a marketer, you definitely have to respect that.
Thank you.
Well done.
Is that a good start then?
Well done, great
Okay,
start.
Good, good.
So tell me about some of the ways you're thinking about how technology drives creativity. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so I think enabling better access to our clients' brands. That could be across industries. So it could be across innovations in healthcare, for instance. It could be if you're a sports brand, which we work with many. We work with Adidas, for instance. Better customization, better tracking of your fitness, so on and so forth. So there are multiple ways, and we're here at CES. You know, it's a big theme for the week. Multiple ways that we can do that, and we know we're really trying to surface some of the great technology skills that we have across WPP. So we look at our capabilities across WPP in terms of creativity, communications, which includes media, experience, commerce, and then technology as well. So it's one of four sort of key areas that we look at across WPP.
When you look at bringing somebody onto your team and you're looking for creative people, but people that can actually use data, leverage technology, are you looking for maybe a certain kind of mindset? And has that mindset maybe shifted over the course of your career, where early on there was this kind of total right brain creative mindset, and now maybe it's something different?
Yeah, I think it has shifted. I think if you mentioned creativity and bringing people in that respect, I think you need to be thinking about people open to using data and technology to help fuel the ideas. And it's not about always using all the data at hand, but it's about picking and choosing. So I do think it's evolved. Having said that, the power of a great idea, a great concept, powered by data or not, is still as relevant today as it was yesterday. So you still need that conceptual mindset coming into the department, but we definitely look for someone who's he or she modern marketer that can help do that.
So when you have those moments when your intuition maybe clashes with what the data might be telling you, how do you proceed there?
I would say I believe that we are still, despite all the talk on data, I think it's about the experience at the end. Intuition is still very powerful. I think we're an industry that should be driven by intuition just as much as data. I think it's important because sometimes the data won't give you that exponentially big idea that can help drive growth. So intuition remains important. I don't know if one trumps the other, but.
And with all this talk on data, do we have enough? Do we have nearly enough? We have so much data now, but there's also so many unanswered questions. When we look back in 10 years and say, gosh, we actually didn't have that much data back in the day.
I think we have a lot of data. I think we probably have enough data. We probably have enough data, we probably don't have enough of the right data. I was talking to some brands just last night about their first-party data pool, and I think that they want their data pool, their first-party data pool, to be much bigger, and that could be at the detriment of losing other data. So I think we've probably got enough data. We probably need to improve the quality of the data, and it's about using the data we have to hand in a smarter way. Clients don't want us to get more data, they want the right data for us to use. So I think that's probably the focus, and I think you'll see a big shift in the next 2 to 3 years on that. The industry has made some big bets, acquisitions, statements around data in the last 18 months, and I think you'll see those bed in over the next 18 months. I think it's a very interesting time for data in that respect.
And where do you think the consumer is when it comes to the data that companies are collecting or want to have, or that consumers are willing to share? Are they maybe more likely to just be accepting of it because this is the world we live in? Or are they maybe more cautious these days?
I think they're cautious. I think they're very cautious. I think that we've seen the effects of GDPR. We'll see what happens in California, but I think that is now quite quickly, if you think about it, the notion of that brands need to be more careful of how they use data has been embedded in culture and how we use the content and we interact with the content. So I think they're cautious. At the end of the day, it comes back to providing a good experience. If you do that, you'll be more open as a consumer to giving up more data, or for that brand to use the data in different ways. So it's just back to that experience.
You are, I believe, WPP's first Chief Marketing and Growth Officer, is that right?
I am.
So congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
Why did they create that role?
So it's Chief Marketing and Chief Growth. So on the Chief Marketing side, as we launch and embed the new WPP proposition and strategy, there is a big need to tell that story in the market, but also to partner with our CMO clients and our clients in the marketing teams across all our organizations. And I think, why not have a reflection of what our clients are doing at the agency company level. So, my job there with the rest of the management team who started it before I joined is to very much clarify, tell the proposition, and at the end of the day, make sure that our clients have the best access, the easiest access to the best of WPP. So that's on the marketing side, and we're looking at a number of things. We've got a WPP marketing plan across WPP. I'd say probably for the first time. We're looking at a number of things. We're looking at how we bring creative transformation to life in that marketing plan, technology to life in that marketing plan, and then other aspects such as sustainability. What are the partnerships that we want to create? What are the initiatives we want to push forward? So more to come on that. And then on the growth side, briefly, it's about looking for new areas of growth and new business. So I partner very closely with Lindsay Patterson. Lindsay looks after the client teams, and I look after new business, net new business, if you like, in that respect.
We're speaking with Laurent Ezekiel of WPP. So it sounds to me like you're not just marketing the organization, you're actually integrating yourself as a marketer with other marketers with whom you are partnering.
Correct.
And kind of cross-sharing that knowledge.
I would say so, and I think that if we can achieve that, I think we'll get a better sense of what our clients are looking for, and frankly, that helps us in new business conversations. How do we bring more of WPP to our clients? And I think they need to be able to trust that we'll do that, understand the capabilities, and make sure it's done in a simple way. It's a big, complex world out there. We are a big organization, and I think simplifying our proposition is a big focus for me this year, actually, in 2020.
I think simplicity is probably a big focus for a lot of the people here at C-Space and CES. But as you know, simplicity is so hard.
It is.
What have you learned about trying to simplify these kinds of things?
Well, I sometimes say I spend my day going around simplifying things, so it's a huge focus. I think that we have probably reached, my view is that 2019, 2018, maybe beginning this year, peak fragmentation in a number of aspects of our market. Data, MarTech, tech stacks, and so on. It's relatively fragmented. Now, my hope for everyone, our clients, myself, our company, is that we now look to simplify going forward and really use the right aspects of all of those elements I just mentioned. So, yeah.
Does simplification mean that some things are going to be jettisoned, and do you have a sense of what those things might be?
Yeah, I think some things will be. I think I think at the end of the day, I think our clients are looking for us to provide their consumers with the best cross-channel experience, and in doing so, you're going to lose some technology. You're probably going to not need all the data that we currently have. So, I'm not going to call out specific things, but I do think that that's the goal at the end of the day, is a simple cross-channel experience, and it's difficult to achieve. It's not easy to do.
Do you think if you're able to pull this off, it will actually become easier to be a marketer? Because one of the themes that we've had here in the C-Space studio is, as much as all the technology and data has helped, it seems like it's harder than ever to actually be a marketer.
I think it's very challenging. I think that you need such an array of knowledge, skills, at the end of the day, motivations, that it's very difficult. But, I think we've got new generations coming in. I think I genuinely think it's such an exciting time, with the developments that we're seeing this week. I mean, we can talk about 5G, we can talk about a number of things. But there are also things, I'm sure even here on the show floor, that will be redundant, that won't see the light of day perhaps. So it's about making those choices. But it's tough, but it's never been more exciting, really, genuinely.
Can you speak just briefly about what 5G means to you?
What 5G? Yeah, sure, absolutely. So I think 5G means to me, well, the first thing it means to me is that case by case, our clients are going to need to look at the business case for them. I think by and large, I wouldn't say it's wait and see what happens on 5G, but it's very, very early days. But what does it mean? It means the obvious, which is better speed. Better speed gives you a better bigger immersive experiences. So that's one thing. And that will be for a sports brand, that will be huge. For a TV network, that will be quite big as well. So more immersive experiences. The other thing is access. It will, to some extent, democratize access to faster, better bandwidth and better content. So I think that's very interesting. And then the final thing I'll say is, and there are a number of others, but one thing I'll point out is data. You spoke about data. We'll be able to crunch more data and hopefully better data, more importantly. Yeah. And if we can do that in real time, then we can probably provide better content because we can provide more personalized experiences. So I think, 5G, we need to look beyond the content, beyond the bandwidth, and some of the things that it will provide us is better data and therefore better personalized experience. I think that's interesting.
Well, thank you for sharing this experience with us, Laurent Ezekiel.
My pleasure. Thank you, James.
Chief Marketing Officer and Chief Growth Officer at WPP.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here.
Okay, no problem.
And thank you so much for being here with me in the C-Space studio. I'm James Kotecki, your host. Keep it right here because more great conversations from CES 2020 are just ahead.